So you know whose second term is not going over well with a lot of big-name conservatives. Former Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene just announced she's following in the footsteps of Tucker Carlson by leaving the Republican Party. Here's why he says he's out. Clip.
There's no chance I would support the Republican Party. I'm not going to support the Democratic Party. I don't know what I'm going to do. I've been a consistent defender for 35 years of the Republican Party. I mean, very consistent defender. But there's no defending this because it's immoral. And it's exactly the opposite of what a political party in a democracy is charged with doing, which is representing its own voters, its own citizens, its own nation. And they're not doing that. So, no, I'm out. And if I'm out, then I think a lot of other people are out.
So do you think a lot of voters feel like this?
Well, people in his party are very, you can vouch for this, they're very disappointed. Trump goes out a few years ago and says no more war interventions, and then he's in the middle of an intervention. He says prices are going to come down, and the prices are going up, and inflation is rising. So they're very, very disappointed, and I think he's leading the charge, although, you know, can't trust him.
Listen, I'm all for people evolving on viewpoints. I think that life isn't stagnant and changing your mind can be a good thing. And I welcome a convert. This is a little different than like Bill Cassidy, Tom Tillis, John Cornyn, these diehard Republicans who have seen enough of Trump and are now speaking out against him. Both Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tucker Carlson, and I hope I get to talk to Marjorie if we have her back on the show, they really pointed to the reason they're breaking with Trump. Yes, the war, but they say because Israel has too much influence on politics. Israel is controlling this president. And I'm sorry, that's a cop-out to me. You voted for this man. You campaigned for this man. You put all your faith into this man.
Right.
So now you're telling me he doesn't have a backbone enough to make his own decisions? It reminds me kind of Lindsey Graham coming out and saying, J.D. Vance owns the Iran deal. No, just be willing to criticize the person that you voted for, who is the president of the most powerful nation on earth. Don't point to Israel. Don't point to J.D. Vance. It's Donald Trump you have a problem with, and say it with your full chest because you supported him with your full chest.
Yeah, and you also voted for him knowing he had a massive ego and is possibly certifiably a narcissist. The reason Donald Trump went into Iran was not for Israel. It's because he has such a massive ego. He thought he could go in there and solve a decades-long crisis in a hostile region, and only he can do it. That's why he went in there. And if he doesn't have America first right now, I'll tell you who is in his mind. Iran, who's getting a great deal after Donald Trump tore up the one that Obama had made and proposed this one, which is what our backs are against the wall. And this deal gives Iran more. Israel's not happy right now. Donald Trump attacked because of the terrorist regime in charge, and now he's leaving it for the terrorist regime in charge and giving them sanctions, deals on the oil. He's going to give a $300 billion reconstruction fund, something Obama didn't have to do. So if he's got anything in mind, it's definitely not America, but I honestly think Tucker Carlson needs to own his vote because he was not a one-issue voter.
Yes. Well, I agree with that part. I think that Tucker Carlson and Marjorie Taylor Greene, they supported Trump in spite of the fact that, in my view, he is a racist, he is a homophobe, he is a malignant narcissist.
Anti-Semite.
He's an anti-Semite. He's, you know, they were okay with all of those things. And so I do think that they need to own that support. But I will say the reporting coming out of this war, it's very clear that the United States was influenced by Israel to get into the war. They went into the war together. And the one thing that Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tucker Carlson are coming together on is that they're upset about foreign wars and they're upset about about Israel. And if you look at it,
but don't blame the Jews for that. Blame them.
Not
you can
the Jews,
you can lead a horse to
I'm talking
water.
About a different country.
But you don't have. You can't make them drink.
Let me just finish this point.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Israel. I'm not talking about Jewish people.
I think they're synonymous, aren't they?
No, they're not. I think criticism of a government is different than criticizing a faith.
Yeah, but I'm saying that even if what you say is correct, they need to take responsibility for what they did.
They do.
And stop scapegoating other countries.
But we can't ignore that part. And if you look at the stats now, 41% of Republicans are viewing our relationship with Israel unfavorably, which is up. It's up from about 27% 7% in 2022. And so I think it's something that the Republican Party is really grappling with
Well,
right
Liz,
now.
this might
And I
be
wonder
one thing
where-
to
where-
capture what you're saying, Sonny. Not everyone critical of Israel is an anti-Semite.
Correct.
But every anti-Semite is critical of Israel,
Correct.
too.
I think
So
that's right.
it is a very hazy line because a lot
you
of
can-
people, you
And I
can,
believe
but I'm
that-
saying a lot
I
of
can't
people
disagree
hide
with the
behind
government.
that. Yeah.
Of course, I'm critical of Netanyahu, but I think it is
Right.
deeply, deeply a cop-out to say that the most powerful nation on earth, with the most powerful armed forces on earth, the United States, was solely influenced by this tiny democracy in the Middle East.
Well, they went into Iran together.
Yes, but we do military operations jointly with other nations all the time. We know Netanyahu was supporting this war, but we know Donald Trump needs to own it, the person who was voted by the American
There's still a
electorate.
possibility that he went into Iran to distract from the Epstein files. And by the way, I would not lump Tucker and Marjorie together exactly, because at
agree.
least Marjorie is speaking out against the Epstein files. Tucker
Yes.
Carlson speaks out for Tucker Carlson.
That's
I
correct.
agree with that. And by
That's
the way,
correct.
Marjorie Taylor Greene has talked about a broader array of issues. She came out significantly about cutting health care. That's a policy issue she has a disagreement with. Tucker Carlson
And
is
the
going to be
Epstein
back with
files.
Republicans as soon as there's another election, and he's going to appear on stage. He's going to
Listen,
follow where the
she's
money
no
goes.
angel. She also was the Jewish space lasers and all
We
that
asked
stuff.
her about that, though.
Well,
She said not
you
to.
know what? When you support this president, it's problematic, and you know it's problematic. You know it's problematic, and you knew who he was when he came in. He said what he was going to do, and he's done a whole lot of